In computer graphics, let us see the 3D object representation today. 3D object representation, because this is very important. You're working with computer graphics. Now you want to show 3D. Now you have a 2D screen, means the display or the representation is 2D only. How you're going to represent the 3D by 2D? So how you're going to represent the object, that is the view, on actually the viewport of 2D through 3D? All this we are going to see. So we have various geometric primitives in 3D, for example, point, line, plane, polygon, and sphere. And 3D object representation can be in the form of raw data, or say some surface, or some solid, or say some high level structure. So these are 3D object representations. This is 3D geometric primitives. Every primitive will be made up of point, line, segment, polygon, polyhedron, curved surface like this, and solid object. There are various 3D geometric primitives. So let us start with the 3D point. This is 3D point, and it specifies a location. X, Y, Z is a location. So this is represented by three coordinates X, Y, Z, and this is infinitesimally very small, very infinitely small, very small. So how you are going to define it or represent it? Because the main thing is you are going to represent, or then you may understand that you are using some library, this point graphics library, uh, say like OpenGL, etc. So or DirectX, how these points are being represented in programming. So for that you have a simple example of type defined struct. So this is a structure with coordinate x, coordinate y, coordinate z, and this is the structure name. What about the 3D vector? 3D point we have seen. 3D vector, this means it will specify certain direction like this, and the magnitude also. This is represented by three coordinates, and the magnitude will be given by square root of dx square plus dy square plus dz square, and it has no location. The programming or the representation will be type defined struct, coordinate x, coordinate y, coordinate z. This will be the name of the structure. So there are two vectors, say d, this is dx1, dy1, dz1, this is dx2, dy2, dz2. You can compute the dot vector of these two 3D vectors like this. v1, v2 will be d1, dx1 on dx2, dy1, dy2 plus dz1, dz2. You can also compute the dot product like this, the magnitude v1, v2 and cos theta. This is theta here. What about the 3D line? See, this 3D vector and 3D line, they are different. How they are different? 3D line means a line segment with both endpoints at infinity. Both endpoints at infinity. So t lies between minus infinity and infinity. Okay, this bracket means that t lies between p is equal to p1, means this is the p1, and plus some t v, some vector v. So you have learned about the point vector just now. This is the point p1. This is the point of x with x, y, z vectors or coordinates, and then vector v. This is the vector v, and you know vector v is represented by this, and it has a magnitude and a direction also. So you have this p1 point and the vector also v. The point and vector. This is your vector. This will be your line. So line segment with its both points at infinity are represented by starting point p and vector v. Now this is 3D ray. What do we mean by a ray? This ray, line segment with one endpoints at infinity. Line segment with one endpoint at infinity like this. The other point will be P1 as we just saw in the earlier section. And this is the V. What is V? This is the vector V. So this is the starting point P1 and this is vector V. So the parametric representation will be given by P is equal to P1, this one, and plus this T and V, TV, and where T lies between 0 to infinity. Previous case, when we are talking about the line, what was the line? In this, both the endpoints are at infinity. So T lies between minus infinity to infinity, where in this case, 3D ray, the one point is a point, the other point is going up to infinity. This is 3D ray. So there is a difference between ray and line. Now about line segment, this specifies a linear combination of 2 points. Now here we have P1 and also we have here P2. this second point P2. So we write in the parametric representation like this: P1 plus T, P2 minus P1, where T lies between 0 and 1. T lies between 0 and 1. So P1, how you are going to define the structure of this? Type def struct point P1 and point P2, and here you write the segment. The name of the structure will be segment. So you have 2 points here, 3D line segment. What about 3D plane? Now plane, as you see, this is a plane. This specifies a linear combination of 3 points. These are 1 point, second point, and 3 points. These are 3 points in all. So the 3 points in a plane, the implicit representation of this plane is Pn plus d equal to 0. Now what this P, D, N means: n is the vector. This is a normal vector. See, to the plane. This is a plane. This is a plane, and n is the normal vector, means perpendicular to the plane. Now d is what? D is the distance of this center of the plane from the origin, and P plus n, P into n plus d equal to 0. This is the equation of this n is of course ABC. So P, these are any point P, n is ABC, and d is of course the distance. So how you are going to represent it in terms of x, y, z? This will be ax plus by plus cz plus d, right? This can be, because you know that n is a plus a and b and c, so you can represent equation of plane can be ax plus by plus cz plus d equal to 0. So this will be your equation. How you are going to write a structure of this plane? Vector, you have this n, this is a vector n which is normal to this plane, and distance d from the origin. Now you write plane. So this is how 3D plane is represented. Apart from this 3D plane, we have 3D polygon also. Area which is inside a sequence of coplanar points. Means when you talk about a plane, these P1, P2, P3, they are all on one plane. So the coplanar planes, see, this is a 3 point. We have just connected 3 points on a single plane, which the area which is inside this, in a sequence of coplanar point, inside sequence of coplanar point, this can be a triangle, it can be a quadrilateral, or say convex surface, say a star shape, concave surface, and also self-intersecting surfaces are there. You can also have hole like this. So how you are going to present it? The points are in counterclockwise direction, means points are like this. Okay. For example, in this we start with this point, second point, third point. So how you are going to make the point? We'll make point. You know what point is? We have already defined point structure. So this structure has inside a structure means a points, which is a type of point only. So this is a structure. So we are representing a point in form of structure, and in this structure, which is the structure of a polygon, we are presenting these points, and these points are, say, here you have 3 points, here 4 points, so a number of points. These are int n points. How many number of points are there? Then we come to 3D sphere. In this 3D sphere, all points are at distance r from some point cx, cy, and cz. An implicit representation of this will be x minus cx whole square, any point x, y, z. So x minus cx whole square, y minus cz y whole square, z minus cz whole square is equal to r square. You add them all. The parametric equation will be r sine phi cos theta. Y will be r sine phi sine theta, and z will be r cos phi. So you take any point. So these angles will be the theta and phi, various, because this is a sphere. So you'll get, in a circle you get one angle, or in a single plane, because this is 3 dimension, you'll get 2 angles. So 3D representation, object representation, you can have raw data like point cloud, or range image, polygon scoop, or soup. Polygon scoop can be there. So what is the point cloud? These are unstructured set of 3D point samples. These are all only points, nothing else. So these points are separated and arranged such a way that it gives you a object. So for example, these figures are acquired from rangefinder, say computer vision. So these are just points, nothing else. And you know about points now. This is the range image. Range image means these are set of 3D points mapping to pixels of depth image. This is the For example, it is acquired from range scanner. This is a range image. Now this is a tessellation. You increase the tessellation, you combine. Means if these are points, you combine them in the form of triangles, and then you rain them with a surface. Okay, you place something on this like texture mapping. This is the polygon soup. Again, we have unstructured set of polygons. These are all polygons. These are all polygons, and they are unstructured, and they are created with interactive modeling system. So various polygons, they are combined to form a cup. These are polygon soup. Then we come to the surfaces. In 3D object representation, we come to the surfaces. So what these surfaces are, how you can represent them. This can be represented using a mesh and subdivision, and you can also have parametric way. Implicit also can be there. So we'll see all these. First is your mesh. What is a mesh? Mesh are nothing but the collected set of polygons, unconnected set of polygons. You have various, these are triangles. As I said, you have triangles, and these are connected. These are triangles. So they are forming a structure. They are forming a shape. They are forming 3D. So this may not be closed, as you can see here. These points where you want to show these areas, you can have more triangles, so tessellation can be high. So these are connected set of polygons, usually triangle, which is called as mesh. This is the subdivision surface. Subdivision surface means you can have a coarse mesh and subdivision rule, that is, we define smooth surfaces as limit of sequence of refinement. This is a triangle. Again, this is mesh only, but one triangle. Here, this triangle contains many triangles. And in this case, this triangle is again consists of various triangles. So tessellation, say x, here x, nx, here n square x type of thing is there. And if you increase the tessellation, the smoothness will be high. You'll see a smooth surface, and here you'll see a coarse surface. Then we come to the parametric surfaces. The tensor we talked about in our previous discussion. Tensor product spline patches are there. So you apply careful constraints to maintain the continuity. This is an example how you can apply or use these parametric surfaces with the tensor product. These are the implicit surface, means this is a simple polygonal model, and this is the implicit model. What it says, we are making a model or points which satisfy certain function, and those points which satisfy some function, this is known as implicit surface. Now we come to the solids in 3D object representation, and we have voxels. So these are the uniform grid of volumetric samples. Previously we saw triangles. Now these are not triangles, these are boxes. See, these are boxes. These are uniform grid of volumetric. So apart from having the area and measurement, this also has a volume now. Okay, this also has a volume. So these are, say, acquired from CAT, MRI, etc. For example, this is a uniform grid of volumetric samples. We also have BSP tree, that is the binary space partition. BSP tree we call them. These are BSP space partition with solid cells which are labeled here. These are constructed from the polygonal representation. For example, this is an object. Now what you do, we divide them, or we partition them specially in binary fashion. How? Like this. Okay, like this. So now we have one, say A. We start with A, and A has B. A has this B1, B and 1, this and 1. So B, it can be distributed into B1, B. See, this B, F, E, D, A, G, C, B, all these are surfaces. So now we are naming them. We are making it 1, and whenever we are partitioning it, we are making this area as 2. This is another area. This is another area. So now A1, when we come to B, because A is partitioned into B, B is not 2, given the name number 2. When we come to C, C is given 3, so this is 3. D again 4, D is distributed into E. Now see, D is on the left and right. So this is how we make a BSP tree, binary space partition tree. This is CSG, hierarchy of Boolean set operations like union, difference, and intersect. And these are applied to simple shapes, like we apply, say, this, and we subtract it from the cylinder. So we get a simple shape like this with a hole. If we say combine these two, means we make union of these two, we come to this surface. So union, difference and intersect of basic shape can give you a complicated shape. See, this is an example. Sweep also is a very good example, that is solid swept by curve along the trajectory. These are all the sweep representation. So how we can construct a torus using a rotational sweep? This is the axis of rotation. Okay, we can just rotate it and then you can get a torus out of a rotational sweep. This is a solid swept by curve along some trajectory. So let us summarize the taxonomy of 3D object representation. It can be, first of all, object can be discrete, it can be continuous. If it is discrete, we call them voxel. If it is continuous, we divide them into combinational and functional. If it is functional, it can be parametric, it can be implicit. Implicit, of course, the algebraic. In parametric form, you can represent it in Bezier and B-spline. If combinational type is there, then it can be either set membership or topological. In set membership, it can be BSP tree. You can represent as BSP by space partition and meshed subdivision. So this is a taxonomy of 3D object representation. We'll be covering more about 3D object representation. Thank you so much.